Hey, what's up? What else is now? I finally pulled up some like articles on whatever the case may be. I saw it just so I found this from Polygon. I probably thought some other sites there too. But just so they were saying that it won't increase in prices. It might not. Polygon is sitting up there saying that. There's like a bunch of other companies that are sitting up there kind of saying that. I saw it just as from off of I think yesterday or the day before yesterday where they were sitting up there. They were saying that the Switch 2 might be $600, but like I said, it's still up in the air when it comes to it. Cause obviously, I think tomorrow was supposed to be the day where the sales was supposed to go, and it's not. So it just so I know like even then like when it sits up there, also it just I'll link the thing down below. So oh wow, confirms you have to pay to use the Switch 2C button. That's crazy. I hope that's not true, but I don't know. So it just so they even had like a little thing where Doug Bowser was sitting there. He was talking about the price point and stuff like that, and he said he didn't think about tariffs when they was using it. So unfortunately, I think I was wrong on that one. As I'm guessing that they was looking at it as in like a base PlayStation 5, either X or even Xbox Series model, which I mean I don't think is up to that standard yet, but I mean, I can see where they're coming from. I'm not gonna sit up there. I'm not gonna justify the price point for it either. And the $80 games is gonna be the $80 games, in other words. But hold on. Let me, as a matter of fact, hold on. Let me show off the interview with him doing it. So I'm gonna be right back. So here goes the video that sits up there, like kind of explains everything. But like I said, so y'all should be able to hear it. But yeah, but basically he explains everything like as in like what y'all like it's not with the tariffs, along with why the games cost $80 and stuff along those lines. I'm not sure if so many people's gonna like it, but
A lot of excitement about this one. I do want to talk a little bit about just kind of the life cycle of these consoles. It's been 8 years since the Switch came. The Switch came off of a kind of disappointing console, the Wii U, which came off of. We know how the cycle has been going. I guess the question now is, with the Switch 2, how do you avoid that trap again? What makes the Switch 2 a worthwhile upgrade so you don't kind of fall into that Wii U moment again?
Yeah, I think of a lot of it is happening behind us right now. And really, for us, it's about creating that next generation of gaming platforms for us, and doing it in a way that really enhances the overall gameplay for consumers. And with Switch 2, we've taken the things that you know and love about Nintendo Switch, but then added very powerful gameplay features and social features. So it's that understanding of your past and your legacy and what worked well, and then how can you supplement that with improved features, improved interaction to create what we've created today, which is Switch 2.
Part of that's under the hood, and I know you partnered with NVIDIA on that. Can you just talk a little bit about the improvements we're going to see for these gameplay on a technical level? What can you achieve now as a developer on the Switch 2 that you maybe couldn't have done on the Switch 1?
Yeah, so there's a few features that I'll call out. First of all, the new and improved Joy-Con, really redesigned from the ground up. And the Joy-Con 2, which are the controllers that you have either when it's on the device or when you disconnect, when you're in a docking mode, we've designed from the ground up the control sticks. We've increased the size of the shoulder buttons. We've improved the overall feedback and rumble that you feel when you're playing the game. So that's just one example. From a CPU and GPU standpoint, we've greatly improved that capability and capacity, which is now allowing developers to really bring deeper and richer content to the platform.
Price is a big issue here. Everyone's talking about it. It's $150 more than the original Switch was. Can you talk a little bit about why we're seeing such a big price increase versus the previous generation?
So I think it boils down to a couple of things. First of all, the hardware unit itself, which has a lot of improved features, from some of the things I talked about earlier with the Joy-Con 2, also to the LCD screen that is much larger and much deeper and richer. And then there's the CPU and GPU processing power that allows for much deeper game development, and I think an ability to bring even more top of that is the social features that we haven't talked about. But Game Chat is this unique feature that lays on top of any game that you play. With the push of one button, seamlessly you can connect with your friends. You can chat with them via audio, or with four of them, you can have them on a video camera and have this opportunity to interact and talk about the games you're playing.
Now we're sitting here on April 2nd. It just so happens, as we're recording this, the President of the United States right now is announcing his tariffs. You and so many other executives are pulling their hair out, trying to figure out how do I price my products. How did that come into play as you're deciding how to price the Switch 2 here in the United States?
Yeah. As we priced the Switch 2, the price we announced today of $449 for the single SKU, we didn't consider tariffs into that equation. We felt that was going to be the right price point for our consumers and the right value proposition, if you will, for the device that we're creating. A lot of news today. We're still all trying to really understand it better and understand what possible impacts, may rise from that. But nothing I can really add to, today's discussion around pricing.
If every time you see an ad, you just wanna...
Sorry, I'm gonna skip this out. Back.
And typically consoles lose money, but you make them up not on the hardware, but you make it up on the software. Is that kind of the idea with this as well?
Well, I would say that we all are trying to find a way to maintain, if you will, margins on the hardware, even though they may be more slim than they are on software. But yeah, the whole proposition, really, the value add proposition here is once you install the hardware, we want to keep consumers engaged. We want to make sure that they're seeing the value in their investment in one of our devices. So we're ensuring that we always have gameplay experiences and a regular cadence of gameplay experiences that allows them to come in, purchase, try, play a game, purchase the next game, and really stay engaged with the device over time. And that's part of the success we had with Nintendo Switch.
I think that's one thing people miss out a lot is the value you get out of games. You might go to the movies, pay $30 or whatever for one outing at the movies, but that's a 2-hour experience, whereas this, hundreds of hours, right?
Absolutely. And if we use Nintendo Switch as an example, we've installed over 150 million units of Nintendo Switch over its lifetime worldwide. Last year, 129 million of those devices were still active. So that's really what's important. We want to make sure consumers see that value and that we're always providing them with new gameplay experiences and other experiences that will keep them engaged on the platform.
Now, let's talk about the games.
Yep.
Behind us, we have the new Mario Kart World game going on. Now, I know you're bundling that with the console as a digital download. That it's a $50 add-on. But if you buy the game itself, this got a lot of attention. I don't know if you're seeing $80. That's a lot for a game. I know it's typically not what Nintendo charges. And then we look at the Donkey Kong game that's coming out a month later. It's $70. Can you talk a little bit about how the gaming pricing strategy is $80 kind of the benchmark for a AAA game from Nintendo? What should we be expecting in the Switch 2 generation as far as how much we're going to be spending on these games?
Yeah, I would say that we're not really looking to establish a benchmark for pricing. We look at every game and every experience and determine what we believe is the right price point based on that experience. You've had a chance to play Mario Kart World and see how deeply immersive it is and how fun it is. And we haven't shown everything yet. We still have a Mario Kart World Direct that'll be coming that'll show even the deeper feature set. So we believe based on the depth and breadth of the play and the repeatability of the play over time, the pricing that we announced is the right pricing. But again, other games like you mentioned, Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's going to be at a $70 price point because that is what we feel is the right price point for that particular gaming experience.
So there's no standard price, basically.
There is no standard price.
What about the third-party titles? Is that kind of up to the developer?
That's exactly right. It's really their choice based, again, on the type of gameplay experience that they're bringing.
Let's talk about supply. Really interesting pre-order mechanism you got going on, at least through if we buy from you directly.
That's right.
And I thought this was interesting. It seems to be an anti-scalper move, if I'm reading it correctly, where you have to have a Nintendo account. You're going to look at how many hours I play before you determine if I'm worthy of buying a Switch 2. Are people going to be able to go out and buy it on day one?
So you're going to see, first of all, you're speaking to our own pre-order program that we have through My Nintendo or through Nintendo.com. And our motivation there with the number of hours played was really to reward our most loyal players and to give them a chance to queue up first and have an opportunity to purchase the product. Tomorrow we're going to be meeting with our retail partners. And our retail partners will have their own pre-order programs. So our goal is to meet the demand that's going to be out there for Nintendo Switch 2.
Do you think you can?
Well, it remains to be seen. That certainly is our goal.
It's not going to be a Wii 1 situation where
Certainly.
years of supply constraints, or the PlayStation 5 years of supply constraints. No COVID to deal with now, so
That's correct.
good,
That's
yeah.
correct. And we've had some time to build up inventories on a global basis.
Okay.
So we really do hope we
So
can
these
meet
are
that
ready
demand.
to ship. They're ready to go.
They're even landed already in some in the United States. Yes.
Oh wow! So now people are going to go hunting for warehouses, I think, for these things. I want to talk about safety, kid safety. When I saw you introduce Game Chat in the direct today, the first thing I thought, oh my god, this is going to be a nightmare for parents and kids. Like, you know, Nintendo usually doesn't do these kind of features by design. And then you said parental controls are going to be part of it. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys thought through Game Chat to make sure it is safe for kids? Because we're seeing on mobile games, on tablet games, we're seeing huge issues with this right now. Parents are concerned about safety online games. What is the process with Game Chat? How you guys thought about that?
Yeah, well, first of all, for us as an industry, player safety is critically important, in particular child safety. And so it's a really important issue that we're addressing at the industry level, whether that's through the ESA or whether that's through the ESRB. When it comes specific to Nintendo, there's a couple layers that we can implement. So first of all, with Game Chat, when you choose Game Chat,
Hold on for a moment. Back.
you're only choosing from a list of your friends. So you're not going online to a wide open
No strangers.
That's right. It is your friends and it's your friend list and those people that you've invited into your gaming environment. Second, for kids 15 and under, we're putting on top of that the parental control app, where parents, not on the device, but via a separate app on their mobile phone, can actually be a part of their kids' gaming experience. And they have the ability, beyond who the kids can chat with and play with, they have the ability to control the amount of time kids can play, whether they can purchase products from the eShop, what types of titles or what types of games they can play. And yes, very importantly, for kids 15 and under, they also have to be a part of the decision to even use Game Chat. And they have to activate Game Chat from the app that's on the parent's phone. So we feel we've got a number of layers of security that ensure the safety of children as they play.
Talk about the age verification process here, because that's another issue with kids and games. We're seeing it happen right now on the mobile app stores. There's some laws being passed. How do you guys do age verification?
Age verification is done via the parents as they sign up their children's account. So we really do, we encourage parents to be a part of their kids' gaming. Maybe they don't want to play with their kids. We encourage that too, and we try to make our games approachable so they can do that. But we really do want parents to be a part of their children's gaming process. So as they're setting up the Nintendo account, we want them to be a part of that overall. But there isn't a verification process per se where we would identify an ID or anything else. It's really done more by the parent.
Okay, the parents have to set it up. Okay. I'm going to zoom out from the Switch 2 just a little bit and talk about Nintendo as a whole.
Yeah.
Some really interesting stuff has been coming out.
On that clear thought, I'm gonna be right back on what y'all says, because I think that's gonna be it for when it comes to them talking about the Switch 2 and stuff like that. So I'm gonna clear out for a moment. I'm gonna be right back. Hold up. Hey, I'm back. What y'all said. I was using that as an example for for what they were saying here on Polygon, basically. So as you heard from the man himself, I said what y'all said, because I think they just put that out today. What y'all said, they put that out today, saying that it wasn't going to they weren't looking at tariffs for it to be increased or whatever the case may be. I believe that they're trying to see around tomorrow-ish, maybe even the 10th, to see how much they should raise it up by, or if they are going to raise it up, whatever the case may be when it comes to that. Now, certain things I probably wouldn't sit up there and say, oh, I would like to basically sit up there and hear, but as in why the cost is the cost and whatever the case may be, I'm guessing, like I said, it depends. Which also, I'm guessing it's comparing up to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox Series and stuff like that. The games, they're gonna vary between, I'm assuming, $80 $80 and a little bit lower. Obviously, as you see from the thing that I showed, Donkey Kong is 70, but Mario Kart is 80. Obviously, you got the bundle, which deduces it down by $30. Yeah, it deduces it down by $30 when you get the Switch and the thing. I also don't like that, how many hours you put into it. That's the reason why you're going to get it. Or that's the reason why you're going to receive it. Which shows that, I mean, it shows loyalty to the people that do play it. But then at the same time, for the people that did buy it, that's what it just says. Because I'm assuming that it's also for, like I think how they said, it was for scalpers. Which does make sense. That's what just says. I actually like that they are doing that in a sense. Like, it's like a double-edged sword when it comes to it. So, that's what just says. But, yeah, like how much you play your Nintendo Switch, which normally I just do it. I wouldn't say normally I do it anyway, but normally I at least do it, like, at least, if not every day, but, like, every other day or something like that, where I will sit up there and I'll just play at least a little something on my Switch. That's what just said. If it's, like, my first... which are like the first couple of games or whatever the case may be, I'll just sit up there, I'll just like dive into it, whatever the case may be. Like, which are like later on, I'm gonna be probably diving into Metroid Prime, because that's my first time playing it, but yeah, sure, but I don't know, so it's just for people that don't have enough time and then not trying to scalp it, kinda doesn't seem fair, but who knows. I'm like, sure, so it's been at this point it's been 8 years. Oh my gosh, since the Switch came out. So, I don't know. So it just says shoot. But I'm hoping that, that when stuff like that does happen, I'm hoping that they do, look out for everybody that is interested in playing it and stuff like that. But, like I said, I don't like how they sitting up there and like, they didn't mention anything about, like, the game, not, I guess not the game chat, like, the tutorial thing is not being free. I don't like how he didn't mention that, I guess, in other words, if you wanted a manual, so the instruction manual, whatever the case may be, that crap costs $10 more. I do not like that at all. Like, so people that was sitting up there probably wasn't, like, listening, or probably wasn't, like, getting all of that through, or because due to the thing that was showing up on it, which I said from NBC, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna get blocked or whatever the case may be. But even there, which if they don't sit up there, they don't explain that. As it just says, the parental controls may not even really matter when it comes to kids. I'm like, shoot, because I don't think some parents don't even really care for it. And yeah, that's a shoot. Yeah, so it just says, and he's downplaying it. Like, yeah, like I wouldn't say downplaying it, but he's saying that it has nothing to do with the tariffs, which I could kind of see why people are complaining. Yeah, that's a shoot, so that's fair. I said, shoot. I said, which I says, oh. And I was going to say, I'm like, another thing that I don't like that they sitting up there that they are saying, which was a feature even for, like, earlier game consoles, is that you shouldn't be charging for the game chat. So, in other words, like, it shouldn't be, oh, well, the price is due to, like, the hardware, fine. Like, the hardware from the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2, yeah, sure. It's gonna be much different than what the Nintendo Switch did have. Yes, of course. But at the same time, which just says shoot, because from the regular Switch to the Switch 2, yeah, it says, yeah, that is a $150 increase, as well as you sitting up there saying the game chat. Now, if you was sitting up there and you was like, oh, well, it includes the camera and everything else like that, yeah, that would make sense, yes. But it doesn't. It just includes the Switch 2, the dock, the Switch 2, the dock, the Joy-Cons, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if they have any things for the actual Joy-Cons. I'm not too sure. I don't know, but I said what you said. That's what it is just as much as the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, at least for the US. I know that certain other places might be a little bit more like which are so they might not be complaining as much like, oh well, it's $600 and whatever the case may be. And then even in certain other places for PlayStation and Xbox, even for their current gen consoles for like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, those has risen up for people like that due to the tariffs and stuff like that. So yeah, but I said it just said I don't know how y'all feel about it. I said it just says it's weird. It's weird altogether. Like I said, like shoot, I'm hoping and praying it's not like gonna be like a Wii U type of situation or like a as much as I hate to say it, like an Xbox One type of situation where they had to lower it down for people to actually get it. Or 3DS. As a matter of fact, that's the perfect. I think yeah, an Xbox One or 3DS situation where they had to lower it down, so people would actually sit up there and buy it, and actually sit up there and try to like to collect it or whatever the case may be. Because then that would suck. Because how great the Switch 1 did, and it's like okay, well the Switch 2 was great too, but there's only but so many people buying it and playing it. Like I said, so who knows? I said it's just hopefully, like I said. Hopefully, I won't get copywritten or whatever the case may be for showing the NBC report thing. But other than that, I said shoot that sucks. I'm like hell says, and we gotta wait until tomorrow supposedly to sit up there and see if stupid mouse you gotta see if what y'all see if it is gonna go up. If it's not. That's what just says shoot, so I don't know. But I'm gonna end it off here. I'm gonna obviously put the reaction. I'm gonna probably put the thing down below, the links down below with the NBC thing and Polygon. But like I said, so I'm not too sure. I said shoot. And even with this, like even with the first most popular thing of them saying that they have to pay for it, I'm not sure how true that is though. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot they did say something like this. Oh my gosh. So okay. Okay, I do remember them saying something like this even in the direct. I'm tripping out. So yeah, they did say this. They said it was gonna be free until March 31st. That's right. They didn't have a price yet, supposedly. But to speculate, which I said because, like I said, even though I went up and down, I didn't fully see the price. Which I said, how? So as a matter of fact, we could read it together. I'm like, sure, because I don't even know why I'm sitting up there. Okay, so which I said, they made their own Discord like chat app. Yeah, like how Doug Bowser was saying, like you can only sit up there and talk to your friends. Only that you sat up there and you added on to the Nintendo Switch. So there you go. Okay, once the free period is over on March 26th, game chat and the C button activate will require Nintendo Switch on online membership. Oh, okay. Oh, so what happens if you're not a subscriber? Oh, okay. So he said in an interview, you'll be fine. Oh, you'll find out that and since some of his functionalities, he said, but you learn the game chat will work like a Discord. You can talk to it. Okay. Okay, there's either a camera you can buy to overlay it on your stream, or to just chat face to face. Oh, so that okay. So okay, so the Switch. Okay, so the Switch 2 can kind of like give you like the PlayStation. What? Because it's not PlayStation 5. It's like the PlayStation 4 type thing / the Xbox thing as well. Like where you could stream on your Xbox or PlayStation. That would be cool if that actually does happen. Like what y'all like it I wouldn't say it would be like a reasonable upgrade, but it is an upgrade because hell the Switch you can't do none of that stuff at all. Like you can't stream nothing or whatever. You gotta still use a PC for that. So if you can stream on your Switch 2, that is a I wouldn't say it's a major upgrade, but it is a big upgrade, especially from Nintendo itself. Like normally I don't think of Nintendo for doing that. I normally think of PlayStation and Xbox and stuff like on Steam for you to do that. So they are moving in that direction, so which is good. But then at the same time, it's like, but like I said too, they trying to match up prices with Xbox and PlayStation now. I don't know how that will work out. So shoot, like I said, shoot, like the way how it looks now, would it compare to? Damn, I'm trying to think. I'm like, shoot, I know it doesn't compare to Xbox, not as much, so it doesn't compare to a PlayStation 5. But I'm trying to think, would it compare to a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? I'm trying to. I would say it's leaning more towards that, like a PlayStation 4-ish. Something like a PlayStation 4, maybe an Xbox One. Maybe a little bit better. Would you? So yeah, so it's probably like right in between, I guess, the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 or Xbox One or Xbox Series. Like I said, Nintendo is its own thing, so when it comes to that. It says, but unless you have an active, you can use the whole button dedicated to nothing on your Switch 2, and it won't even sound like you can remap it to something else. Oh wow! So it will just be a reminder of your annual fee. Wow. So okay. Try to set the C. Okay. For the that he listed off some of this, like to access to old GameCube games and free games, like that sucks. Oh, a previous versions. Okay, a previous version of the story was stored and collected. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So this is the right one. Damn, that kind of sucks. Ooh. Like I said, so if you get it now, that's cool. Because you got all the way until March. You got all the way until, like, next year to sit up there and think about getting it. Or whatever the case may be. So everybody's going to go nuts. You know what honestly, now thinking about it, you know what it's going to work for? To be honest. Because it might not do it fully to this extent. So it might work for stuff like Fortnite, where you don't have to pay anything, and they will probably continue that because the Switch, if you ever hear somebody sitting up there and they chatting on on the regular Switch, and you don't have to pay for anything, right? I think it will be something like that where you don't have to pay nothing for like some of those free to play games. I think it will be something like that basically. But if they have the thing where you have to pay, then I think it will show up like that. So now sitting up there thinking about it, I think stuff like Fortnite, so they will allow you to press the C button or whatever the case may be, and it won't pop up anything, right? Like you can be on game chat on Fortnite or something like that, basically. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think that they're gonna do that to Fortnite though, because I think Fortnite is coming to the Switch too as well. So I think for people that are playing Fortnite on the Switch too, whatever the case may be, may look a little bit better, whatever. It may not do it for that particular game or games that are like that, but anything that's, I guess, Nintendo-like or or stuff that you gotta use the Nintendo Switch online for to play online, like for example, I guess like 2K or whatever the case may be. That's a third party, or WWE or something like that, or Madden or whatever the case may be. You might have to pay for something like that through the Switch app, but like I said, so something like Fortnite, I think Dauntless is another one that does it really well. Warframe does it too, cause I even set up there and I use the what's at the little chat in the chat box, and it doesn't really do much, but then you hear people talking over it too. So yeah, stuff like that. But like I said, I don't want to dabble on too long about it, but see, I'll put both of the links down below under my YouTube thing. And peace out. If y'all want me to talk more about this, just let me know, or just give it a like. So at least it let me know that that y'all want me to talk more about this. But it kind of sucks that you got to pay for the game chat. No, but I forgot that. I should have known that already. But it kind of sucks that Mario Kart is $80 though. That kind of that sucks though. I see what you're saying. It has nothing to do with tariffs. and the Switch is $500. Well, but all right, peace.